Good morning, everyone. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers that are out there and about there watching today, our Facebook Live. And we really want to talk on this mindset session on this Sunday, all the lessons that we learned from our mothers, Tony. And I'm sure there's lots of lessons to be learned. So lots for us to unravel today, to discuss in terms of what's going on with our mothers and what's been happening. Tony, good morning. How are you?
Good morning. Good, Luke. I am terrific. Here I am in beautiful Brisbane. Gorgeous. I just want to say happy Mother's Day, firstly, to Margaret, my mum. Happy Mother's Day, Mum. I know you're in Victoria. You won't be watching, but just on the off chance that you did, happy Mother's Day, Mum. I love you and thank you. Happy Mother's Day to my wife, Nicole, who's in bed. She'll never be watching. She's more of a fan of yours than she is of mine. But nonetheless, should she ever stumble across this video, then happy Mother's Day to you, sweetheart, and thank you.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all the mums out there. It's a wonderful day. What a wonderful celebration. But here's the other thing worth celebrating today, Luke. It's our 100th episode. Yeah! Woo! It's our 100th episode. The 100th Sunday Mindset session, as the crowd here at Bulimba has gone absolutely crazy. They're thinking, what the hell is this guy doing? He's dancing on a platform at 8 a.m. in the morning. Fantastic. Here we go.
Well, happy Mother's Day to my mother, Catherine. She's a big supporter of the Sunday Mindset session. So she's probably already on here today. So hopefully she gives us a bit of shout out. I'm not too sure. Tony Gallagher said, happy Mother's Day to the mums listening. Good morning to boys, he says as well. Yes, Tony, it's been our 100th episode. Can you believe it? All the way back when we started at episode number 1.
I can't believe it. 2 years ago. It's absolutely amazing, actually. You know, and it never started out wanting to be the Sunday Mindset session. It was just have a chat about mindset. I think I filled in a gap. You were looking for someone to come on live, and I stuck my hand up, and as I normally do for these things, and here we are 100 episodes later. And I want to say a big thank you to you, to be honest, because you are the driving force behind this. You've got this going, and I really appreciate what we've done the last 100 episodes. I appreciate the friendship, our friendship. You were wonderful enough to be a gracious host last week to my son and I as he came to Sydney. And I just want to say thank you. But look, it's amazing. I think about the 100 episodes and all the people that have come and gone and stuck with us and whatnot through those 100 episodes. And you know what? If you've taken something out of one episode, one thing out of one episode, that's awesome. And that's been worth it in my mind.
As we speak, Mum just comes on. So happy Mother's Day to Mum.
Happy Mother's Day, Catherine.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day.
Well, it's been a big weekend. My dad's 70th birthday last night. Yesterday was his actual birthday. Today's Mother's Day. So it's jam-packed of Moroni family fun at the moment as well. But, Tony, we think about all the things that we've learned of our mothers from when we grew up as a teeny tot, walking, crawling, talking, all those things through our primary school years, through our teenage years. Geez, they're one to be dealt with. And going into adulthood, and I did a video this morning on, just one lesson that I learned from my mother. Maybe you can share, maybe something of yours first, Tony, of maybe one lesson that you learned, and we'll deep dive into generically what we're thinking about. What kind of lessons do we learn from our mothers?
We'll treat others as you want to be treated. That's a big one that Mum used to, inbred in us as kids, not just me. My brother and sister as well. We grew up in a religious household. We went to church regularly when we were younger. But it's all about treat others as you want to be treated. Operate with kindness. I always want to do the right thing by people. Certainly that's my intention, and I get that largely from from my father as well, but certainly from Mum, and I'm forever grateful for that. There's some challenging stories. We'll get through those I'm sure over the course of the next hour, but if I think about, let's start on a positive note. What's gone well is that Mum has always inbred in us to be kind to other people, and those that know me will know that that's the way that I always like to operate.
Oh, yeah. Look, you put up with my shit all the time, don't you, Tony?
So it's water off a duck's back. Water off a duck's back, Luke. So As long as I'm assisting with your engagement, mate, then that's the main thing.
You know, I think my mum keeps telling me, be kind to Tony, be kind to Tony.
It's okay. It's good fun. It's good fun, right? It's a good viewing.
We
It's
love the
entertaining.
banter.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah.
100%. So any
What about you, mate?
stories, any quick stories about mum that maybe how she's shaped or changed, you know, parts of your life or areas, you know, certain incidents that have come up?
Well, probably the big thing for me is the appreciation of my mother, and I learnt that the hard way when I didn't appreciate her, and I was a horrible teenager, like really horrible. I got sent away to boarding school, and I haven't got long enough to go through that story, my goodness. But you know, she went through a lot. Like I didn't. I was the eldest, and there's always high expectations for the eldest, and I wasn't trending in the direction that I think my mother had hoped. And I got chipped away to boarding school, and I really had a love-hate relationship with my mum for a long, long time. But what that taught me, Luke, is that the appreciation. Today I have the most beautiful relationship with my mum. I'm you know, so appreciative, so grateful of all the wonderful things that she has done for me, the sacrifices she's made. But mate, I was a little shit. I truly was in my teenage years. And you know, look,
we can laugh about it now, can't we, Tony?
Oh, look, we can laugh about it now. And I used to rile her up, Luke, and she would always you know, she'd say, "Wait till Dad comes home." And of course, Dad would come home, and the belt would be off, and it'd normally be connecting with my ass, and you know, oh yeah, absolutely. So you know, certainly pushed her to the absolute limit. Saw it as a sport there for a long period of time. How can I antagonise Mum? How can I get under her skin? And I look back now at those days and just think how foolish, how spoiled, how ungrateful I was. But you know what? It's real. It's my story. And you know. But as I said, you know, we've got such a beautiful relationship. You know, and she's a loving grandmother, not just an amazing mother, an amazing grandmother as well to my two kids. You know, we've certainly kept the tradition going of giving her a hard time with what's been going on in my family. So that's keeping her on her toes. But she's a grandmother to my brother's kids.
You know what? Someone should keep you on your toes, right, Tony? After what you put your mother through, right?
100%, Luke. 100%. So no. As I said, she won't be watching this, I don't think. But if she does, you know, Mum, I love you. Thank you so much, and I am, you know, who I am today because of you. Thank you.
A couple of comments coming through. Gabby says my mum was strong, resilient, and had the best sense of humour, great qualities, and to have no matter what the situation. So, you know, I guess we're having a little bit of humour, a little bit of deep conversation at the same time. So that's kind of mirroring what Gabby's saying. Tony Gallagher says, before you can be old and wise, you first must be young and stupid.
Yes.
That's really interesting. I probably think about myself in the same way, Tony. I wasn't an over rebel, but I was a bit of a smart ass kid, definitely. A little bit cheeky, well, probably a lot bit cheeky. And that really shone through. But there were times that both my mother and father, you know, pull me aside and pick me up. I know I really gave my younger brother, John, a hard time when I was younger. And they was like, you know what, Luke, enough's enough. And then I clicked into action. So they let me go for like 6-12 months, whatever it was. Then finally found my way around that and just like, you know, stopped and calmed the farm down on that. And I think one memory for me with my mother was I was in a job for a couple of years. And I was kind of like, you know, the bosses weren't really caring about what I was doing. I really spent very little time at work. I was supposed to do about 30 sales calls a week. I ended up doing about 5, sometimes about 2. And then my mum pulled me aside. She doesn't actually remember this. I brought it up with her a couple of times. But she pulled me aside and said, you're lacking motivation. You need to do something different. Time to kick yourself into gear. And that really triggered me to go, quit my job. I got a working visa to go over to Canada. And, you know, it's just probably more sad about me not being there than anything else. So her kicking me into gear got me moving over to Canada.
Fantastic. But it worked, right?
Sorry?
But it worked, right? It worked. It had the effect that you were looking for. Yeah.
And I think it just then carved my way into many areas of my life. You know, I went through a lot in terms of being on my own, traveling around the world, which is quite a struggle, but going through that hard work and triggering that sense of me lifting up to the next level really helped me. helped me when I was overseas, helped me when I got back to Australia.
Yeah.
Just to, then find my way back in, start from the ground up, and then, work the way forward. So that really had a sense for me of making things better for me. So thank you to Mum, and obviously Tony, very gracious in what your mother did for you. Maybe.
Look,
was it Tony?
So look, incredibly tough love. As I said, we had a love-hate relationship. So she was able to successfully break a number of wooden spoons on my ass, and then, as I said, Dad would follow up with a belt. But there's some of the challenging stories of me being a rotten kid. But also the big thing from Mum, which I never got from Dad, but I got from Mum, is her competitive nature, like really competitive. Like it's just a must-win at all cost, and to the point where last year. So Mum's now 71. She turned 72 this month. But Mum last year broke her wrist playing pickleball. So I don't know if people know what pickleball is, but it's a miniature game of tennis with wooden bats. So it's tennis. Mum's always been into the racket. Well, she's been into all sports, actually, incredibly sporty, softball, netball, racket sports. But anyway, here she is, 71, playing pickleball, lunging for something, dove at the damn ball. Come on. And
dive at 71.
Yeah. Anyway, broke the wrist, and so incredibly competitive. And so for me, I get that all from Mum. Dad, again, Dad won't be watching, but Dad, that I got none of that from you. I got it all from Mum. So incredibly competitive.
Way to put your dad down.
No, he's not. No. Dad's got other strengths, mate. It's not competitive. Mum is absolutely. She is uber competitive.
I guess we saw that last Sunday when you were doing the 7K run down at Bondi with me, right?
Well, I wasn't going to stop. So as much as at about the 500 metre mark, the body was starting to shut down. But I stuck it out for the next 6.5 Ks. So I actually went on a 6K run yesterday morning as well. So I haven't done it every day, but just done a few bits and pieces this week to get moving. So yeah, no, thank you, mate. I appreciate that, and thanks for sharing all the photos of my face looking like the colour of a search party property shirt. But I did it, so that was the main thing.
Did you like my little social media post on that?
Go for it. Go
and like zoom
go
in
for it.
on your face and
for
how the joys of your face come out when you did that 7K.
As I said, if I'm assisting with your engagement, mate, then that's the main thing. So go for it.
I think I'm assisting with your engagement. Showing all of you, Tony.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%. So there's no
we're
issues.
Coaching people in terms of what we do. We're giving all of ourselves, right? And that's vulnerability is a big one for us to really shine through. If we can't be vulnerable with ourselves, how can we allow people to be vulnerable with themselves as well? So for us to then put ourselves out there, whether it be on social media like we are now, on posts, in various areas of what we do and how we interact with the world, we're going to do that each and every day. And we implore you to do the same. I know your event last week was really encouraging to get people out on stage and share their ideas, their thoughts, their inner feelings about what's going on. And the more that they can share, the more that they're going to get out of these things, Tony.
Well, I have a number of key sayings. I have so many sayings, as people know, but one of the key ones for me is progress beats perfection. And I see it all the time, Luke, and I was catching up with someone early this week, and they're talking about getting their website right and their business cards right. And I'm like going, oh my gosh, like honestly, let's just go. And I didn't frame it up that way, but the point is that
you know what, Tony, just before you say that, maybe one of your mother's wooden spoons would have helped.
Oh, 100%. That would have got it moving, absolutely. So but it's about progress. Progress, do one thing. We talk about it all the time. Just do one thing. Don't try and do 76 things. Just do one. I had a conversation with someone on Friday, and the stories that I was receiving as to why this person hadn't done something for the last few weeks. And it was like, let's just cut to the bullshit. Just go and do one of those. And so progress will always beat perfection. Another saying that I heard just recently, which you'll really appreciate, Luke, and obviously rings true with the Sunday Mindset session and also your running, is consistency beats intensity. So it's all about doing things consistently. Don't just have a short, sharp burst for a week. It's about, it's the hare and the tortoise, right? It's the slow and steady wins the race. And I've said this a few times. We learnt that fable as kids. didn't really understand it as a child, absolutely understand it now as a 48-year-old man, and that is that patience, slow and steady does win the race. And it's funny when you look back and you're getting all these life lessons, whether it be through mum, whether it be through dad, whether it be through school, whatever, and you aren't quite ready for it when you're younger. And I look back and think, well, I wasn't quite ready for a lot of that stuff. And, we talk about mum, and there's a lot of things that she did to me and I wasn't quite ready for it. But now that I look back, I go, wow, I get that now. I get why, she stuck with me, right? Unconditional love is something else, because I really did, in all honesty, I really did give mum, there was a period there for a few years where I really gave her a hard time. And, we laugh about it now, but it was, I wasn't a very nice son, and I'm not proud to say that, but it's my story. And albeit
think about her resilience through that time, Tony. Like, if you really drill down and you're appreciating what she actually went through and how she stuck by you maybe at those times. So think about her resilience. People can give up at those times when kids are absolute shits.
Yeah, look, absolutely. And, I've got 2 children of my own, one 18, one 16, and there's been certainly plenty of days when, we've had sleepless nights over a whole variety of issues. So I have a greater appreciation for my parents now, because being a parent, going through it all, and, I put my parents through some things. I think my son's gone and topped all of those. But anyway, he's coming good. But it's a case of unconditional love, Luke. That's probably the thing. It's like, well, as a parent, you brought this human into the world, and you want to stick by them, and you want to give them every chance of success, and you want to support them and do what you can. And so resilience, yes, putting up with me being a little shit, but also unconditional love. And no matter what I threw at mum, no matter how much I tried to hurt her and upset her, the love that she constantly showed to me. And even though I know it was testing, and she shared a few, choice words with me over many times. And as I said, many a wooden spoon. And I can't believe, here's the thing that used to annoy, I tell you what, it used to annoy me now that I'm starting to wind up about it, is that she would break the wooden spoon on my backside, and that cost of the wooden spoon would come out of my pocket money. What?
That is brilliant.
What? I didn't ask you to whack me. So
anyway. I love that. I'd love to, I'd love to get your mother on here to really, dial it in and really, how good would that be?
It would be good.
To Victoria to go and see her. I know she's away at the moment.
Yeah.
But travel to Victoria just for a session. So maybe if we can tee that up at some stage, I think that would be absolutely brilliant.
Oh my gosh, here we go. Okay, all right.
And you know what? I'm going to I'll go buy a wooden spoon just for the event. And I'll just go, here we go. Have you seen one of these before? What's her name?
Oh my gosh, have I seen one? What's
your mother's name?
Margaret.
I'm like, Margaret, have you seen one of these before?
Oh dear.
Right, Tony,